Hey, it's Kim from Playcations, and instead of doing a play video today, I thought I would share with you where this came from, the backstory to this business, this movement, whatever I'm doing. And so I am the child of two great and very introverted and quiet parents. And my parents divorced when I was 2. I'm joint custody. I'm also biracial. Come from white dad, black mom. Very different lives. They cross paths and they get me. And so I grew up in the household with my mom and my older brother and my younger sister. We have different dads. And my mom has been living for many decades now with several mental illnesses and mood diagnoses, including bipolar disorder, borderline personality disorder, PTSD from integrating schools, social anxiety, and a couple other things too. And because of that, growing up was a bit challenging. So although my mom grew up pretty financially comfortable, she was a debutante, she was a classically trained pianist, had a pretty awesome life, but it's a struggle every day to live with mental illnesses and mood disorders. And so by the time she had me, what she thought was not PTSD, what she thought was postpartum depression was actually the onset of her bipolar disorder full blown. And so we grew up in a home, also in poverty, but we grew up in a home where we had a parent who was constantly fighting this battle of mental illness and mood disorders. And so we knew what amitriptyline and carbamazepine and Haldol was before we probably knew higher level math. And we helped her with her medications. I went on many therapy appointments with my mom. It was just part of how the household was. And very early on, I felt it was my job to make her happy. I felt that if my mom was happy, then our household was safe. I felt more secure when she was in a good mood. And so fitting it be that today is a sunny day and there's a little glimmer of light coming from between this tree I'm standing under, because that's what I felt like my job was, to be in that house that sometimes felt a bit heavy when there's poverty, single parent home, the pressures of that, and when you have a parent who's really fighting through constant perpetual sadness, which we later learned is clinical depression. So by 13, I became the head of household. My mom suffered a nervous breakdown, and she became permanently disabled when I was about in ninth grade of high school. And so that's when I stepped in and helped my mom. She needed help. She needed someone to step up, and so I did. And I helped pay the bills. I helped make sure my sister got ready for school. I helped make sure we grocery shopped. I stepped in and did what I needed to do. And that's where we saw parentification come into it. But what we did have, even though sometimes we didn't have money or resources, we didn't have a car. By that point, my mom didn't have employment. But what we did have was an ability to play. And I knew that was something that my mom struggled with. She would often say that she'd go to our therapy appointments and they'd give her meds, and they'd give her different advice and tools and coping mechanisms for stress and anxiety. But one of the things that came up all the time was that they would tell her, you need to play, you need to relax. And my mom often said she didn't know how to play. So I tried to bring that element into our family, into our household. I'm reenacting Lay's potato chip songs and commercials. I'm playing bank with the leaves on the bushes. I'm stealing Miss Jameson's flowers from her garden. Sorry, Miss Jameson. Sorry. And a lot of other things that I thought, well, this is how we'll play. There was a lot of music in our household. And so there were days when maybe the electricity bill's overdue and we had food stamps and all that good stuff. And sometimes what we did to get through the day is sit around and talk and laugh, watching comedy shows, people like Robin Williams, who for our family was a personal loss when he committed suicide. But we would band together and listen to music like Pachelbel's Canon in the project community. And we found a way to love each other through the depression, through mental illness, through bipolar disorder, through borderline personality disorder, through all these things. We found a way to get by and to smile and to laugh and to have fun. My mom struggles with it. I try to put laughter in our home as much as possible, and I found it ended up being a positive and a good tool for me. I later on, as an adult, got diagnosed with ADHD, And I realized that in my childhood, I found different mechanisms to get through that. So this is the backstory. This is why, for me, although we laugh and we smile, play is not just recreational. To me, play is an emergency. Play is how we stay alive. Play kept us alive in our house, metaphorically, and in some cases, literally, because my mom also has suicide ideation. Sometimes a laugh might be just what she needed to get through the day. So I'm going to do whatever I can to make her laugh. We're going to sing songs. We're going to do wham videos, whatever we need to do so I can get a smile on somebody's face, put a smile on my face, a little joy in my day, and be responsible for my own happiness, for my own joy, for my own fun, and for my own play. So Playcations, not just a little silly thing that we're doing. This is serious. Play is serious, and being able to find some joy, even if it's 1 minute of joy, 1 minute of laughter, it's serious to me. This is not a job. This is not something frivolous. This is a personal movement. This is something that kept our family alive, and so we want to share it with you too. Thank you for watching. Hope you share your stories too, and let's fight the stigma of mental illness. There's no such thing as normal. And you know what? I believe one of the researchers at one of the Ivy Leagues said that the opposite of play is not work, it's depression. So we can fight this, and the tools that we had when we were little, when we were in recess on the playground, playing tag, playing Barbies, coloring in our coloring books, playing shadows, puppet shows, sock puppets, playing banks, skipping, doing cartwheels, all those things. Kids know how to regulate themselves, and we as adults forget how important that is, how crucial it is, how we can save our own lives. So for somebody you love, for yourself, make sure you get out there and you play healthy and play happy.